Have you ever looked around at your life, like at the conversations you're having or the expectations you're supposedly meeting, and felt like you were, I don't know, forced to play a role in a script you simply didn't write?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like you are hitting your marks, you're saying your lines with perfect inflection, but the entire production just feels profoundly hollow. You know what I mean?
It is a staggering realization to have. I mean, you wake up, you look in the mirror, and suddenly you recognize that the life you are living is essentially this highly polished performance,
Right.
and it's carefully choreographed for an audience you don't even particularly like, which is just wild.
Exactly. Which is why today we are completely ripping up that script. We're going on a deep dive into Pablo Mera's intensely evocative philosophical text, the Lucid Misfit's Handbook.
Such an incredible piece of work.
It really is. But before we even get into the text itself, I want to paint a picture of the cover of this book for you because it perfectly sets the stage.
Yeah, the cover's striking.
So it depicts a human hand holding a single puzzle piece. But the piece isn't made of cardboard. It's glowing, completely filled with this swirling galaxy of stars.
Mm-hmm.
And the hand is attempting to place it into a gap right in the middle of the earth.
Yeah, and the visual metaphor there is just incredibly precise because the galaxy inside that puzzle piece, it represents the vast, uncontainable, complex inner life that we all possess.
Right.
Every single one of us has that internal universe. Yet we spend most of our waking lives trying to force that infinite galaxy into a very rigid, tiny, predefined cardboard slot that society has, cut out for us.
Which brings us to our mission on this deep dive. We're going to explore this concept of voluntary invisibility.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to examine why choosing to be what the author calls a lucid misfit, so someone who fully embraces their own strangeness and just refuses to perform for societal approval, might actually be the ultimate act of personal freedom.
Yeah, true freedom.
We'll look at how to maintain your personal integrity in a world that is frankly obsessed with social conformity. And perhaps most importantly, we'll talk about how our deepest, most agonizing wounds are secretly forging our absolute greatest superpowers.
Yeah, and to understand the journey of the lucid misfit, we first have to really understand the architecture of the invisible prison they are trying to escape.
The cardboard slot, basically.
Yeah, exactly. In the text, Mera refers to this as the unthinking mandate. And the danger of this mandate lies in its subtlety. I mean, from very early childhood, society hands us these psychological maps that fundamentally lead nowhere.
Right.
And keys that open absolutely nothing.
Okay, let's unpack this for a second. What does that look like practically? Like, what kind of maps are we talking about here?
Well, we're talking about the pervasive, unquestioned rules of social engagement. Like, we are taught things like boys don't cry, or always be efficient, or, optimize yourself for the marketplace.
Oh yeah, the constant need to be productive.
Right. The unthinking mandate demands a certain shallowness just to keep the machinery moving smoothly. Because of this, society effectively pathologizes any kind of deep intensity.
Mm-hmm.
Think about a highly sensitive person or a really profound thinker in a standard corporate or educational environment. They are constantly told that they care too much, or they think too much, or they are taking things too seriously.
Okay, but I have to push back here a little bit.
Sure.
When we talk about embracing your strangeness and practicing this discipline of refusal, it sounds to a lot of people like a dressed-up philosophical excuse for just being antisocial.
I can see how it sounds like that, yeah.
Right, like it sounds like someone who just hates going to parties or maybe struggles to get along with their coworkers, and they use this text to justify a cynical attitude.
Well, that's a common misconception, but the author explicitly warns against falling into cynicism.
Right.
The lucid misfit doesn't abstain from societal games because they hate life. They abstain because they love life too much to hand it away cheaply. It is really about withdrawing your intrinsic value from a corrupt market.
Wow. Withdrawing your value.
Yeah. When you stop requiring mass approval, you are no longer governable by insecurity.
So it's not about hating the party at all. It's like unsubscribing from a mental spam email list.
That is a perfect way to put it.
You aren't rejecting human connection, you are rejecting the counterfeit version of human connection.
And that distinction is paramount, because the lucid misfit is someone who maintains internal sovereignty. They are the person who fundamentally refuses to betray their own perception of reality just to fit in with the crowd.
Right.
In fact, there is a defining quote right on the cover of the handbook that captures this entire philosophy perfectly.
What's the quote?
It says, "The lucid misfit would rather endure an honest ache than inhabit a decorated numbness.
Man, I'm sort of stuck on that phrase, an honest ache.
It's powerful.
It is, because escaping a counterfeit life sounds, I don't know, romantic and liberating on paper, right?
Right.
But the sources reveal that defying what Mera calls the social grammar of worth carries a devastating emotional cost.
It absolutely does.
Like, the author shares a deeply personal story of the consequences he faced, and it's agonizing to read.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. He describes a period of his life that he refers to as his 17-year desert.
17 years.
17 long years. He was effectively exiled from his own family's most significant foundational moments. I mean, he missed his eldest daughter, Agustina's 15th birthday.
Oh, wow.
And in Latin American culture, the quinceañera is a monumental rite of passage. It's a pillar of family identity.
Right, it's huge.
And later, he missed his youngest daughter, Valentina's wedding. He was completely excised from the historical record of their lives.
See, I want you to pause for a second, if you're listening, and just imagine the sheer weight of that exile. Imagine missing the absolute most important days of your children's lives.
That's unimaginable for most people.
So why did this happen? Like, was there some massive falling out? Was he violent or abusive?
No, not at all. He wasn't violent. He wasn't struggling with addiction. His singular crime, really, was that he didn't fit the conventional financial script.
Okay, so it was about money.
Well, it was about how he was living his life. He was walking an unorthodox path, trying to build something outside the normal bounds of traditional employment. But society operates on this unspoken grammar where a lack of visible, traditional, steady income is automatically translated as a moral failure.
Oh, I see. It's like society operates on a very strict currency exchange.
Exactly.
If you show up to the counter with a different kind of coin, even if you know it's solid gold, even if it has immense inherent value, the tellers just look at you like you were completely bankrupt.
Right. They don't even know what to do with it.
They simply do not recognize the tender, so they declare you worthless.
And that inability to be recognized is exactly what drives the exile. And the mechanism of the social grammar is so rigid that it punishes you in both directions, honestly.
What do you mean both directions?
Well, because when the author eventually did experience sudden unorthodox financial success through these entrepreneurial ventures, the societal grammar couldn't compute that either.
Wait, really? Even when he succeeded?
Yeah. If you acquire inexplicable money outside the standard paycheck model, the immediate social assumption is that you must be a criminal.
Yeah. You've got to be kidding.
No, I mean, even old friends, people he had watched grow up, they accused him of being a swindler or a drug trafficker.
Just because his success didn't look like their success, that is the tragedy of illegibility.
Illegibility.
If you cannot be easily categorized, if society cannot quickly read you and place you into a neat little box, you are basically rendered invisible.
Completely invisible.
And that illegibility leads straight to this 17-year desert. So if society has completely shut you out, and you are enduring that level of alienation, how does the human mind even begin to cope with that kind of profound isolation?
Well, the author argues that it is exactly inside these painful, isolating limitations that our greatest strengths are mechanically forced into existence.
Go on.
He calls it the gift hiding inside the wound. And to understand how this works, he points to a profoundly physical parallel in his own life, which is his lifelong battle with a severe stutter.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize he had a stutter.
Yeah, for years, the simple act of trying to say his own name out loud in front of a mirror was this humiliating, exhausting battle. But the thing is, he didn't just survive this limitation, he metabolized it.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because, wait, how does someone metabolize a physical speech impediment? What is the actual mechanism there?
Because the straightforward, direct path of speech was physically blocked, right? His brain was forced to build entirely new neurological and linguistic pathways.
Like a detour.
Exactly like a detour. He had to learn how to map out his sentences far in advance, constantly scanning ahead for linguistic landmines.
Oh, like avoiding words he knew he would get stuck on.
Yes. Avoiding hard consonants that would trigger a block. So to communicate effectively in a world that frankly wouldn't wait for him, he had to learn how to aggressively compress his meaning.
Okay, so his brain built a workaround. By physically not being able to say certain normal words, he was forced to invent a more efficient language.
Precisely. When straightforward words wouldn't come out, images did. He became an absolute master of vivid metaphors.
I see.
Because if you think about it, a carefully chosen metaphor can carry the emotional weight of an entire paragraph in just 3 or 4 safe words.
That is incredible.
Yeah, he now views his stutter not as a deficit, but as a native app installed in the operating system of his mind. The enforced, painful silence actually taught him precision. His slower voice evolved into a much deeper, more deliberate voice.
I'm listening to this and, well, I'm wondering about the listener who is carrying their own heavy burdens right now.
Of course.
How does someone find their own compensating gift without accidentally, romanticizing their trauma? Because pain is pain, and sometimes a wound is just a wound. We don't want to sit here and tell people that their suffering is secretly beautiful.
No, and the author is incredibly careful to make that distinction. Suffering isn't beautiful. The 17-year desert wasn't beautiful, it was agonizing.
Right.
The gift isn't the trauma itself. The gift is the adaptation your mind and soul make to survive the trauma.
Okay, that makes sense.
And the advice he gives for uncovering this is remarkably practical. He tells the reader, don't ask, what am I bad at? And don't even ask the standard self-help question, what am I good at?
Then what do you ask?
Instead, you need to ask yourself, what have I become skilled at precisely because of what I lack?
What have I become skilled at precisely because of what I lack? Wow. So, the person who grew up with crippling social anxiety might have been forced to become the most perceptive reader of human micro-expressions in the room simply as a survival mechanism.
Exactly. And that acquired depth, that hyper-precision flourished in the fires of limitation, it actually puts the lucid misfit in direct conflict with the modern world.
Because the modern world doesn't really value depth.
No, not at all. We are currently living in an era that the author describes as a simplified society.
A simplified society?
Yeah, a culture that is aggressively accelerating toward artificiality and shallowness.
Oh, I see that everywhere. I mean, we have this miraculous technology in our pockets that allows us to connect instantly with anyone across the globe in high definition, and yet our default setting is to send these flat, emotionless text messages.
He points out the profound irony there. We have essentially regressed back to the era of the telegraph.
That's so true.
We willingly strip away the human voice. We remove the breath, the hesitation, the emotional prosody, the very things that carry true meaning, because it is deemed too inefficient for the unthinking mandate.
And when people actually do decide to use their voices, think about what happens.
What do you mean?
Well, we send voice notes, and the recipient listens to them at 1.5x or 2x speed.
Oh yeah, constantly.
Listening to a loved one's voice note at 2x speed is like taking a gorgeous, slow-cooked gourmet meal, throwing it into an industrial blender, and processing it into a nutrient paste.
That is a brutally accurate analogy.
Right. Yes, technically you consume the calories much more efficiently, but you have entirely stripped away the human experience of tasting the food. You've turned an intimate human interaction into administrative data that just needs to be cleared from your inbox.
And this optimization of the human experience isn't just in our messages. It is baked into our entertainment and our social structures, too.
Like where?
Well, the author brings up a fascinating critique of what he calls the voiceover culture. You see this heavily in certain Japanese anime or serialized Spanish dramas where an institutional narrator talks over the scene.
Okay.
They're explaining exactly what is happening on screen and exactly how the audience is supposed to feel about it.
But why do institutions do that? Why not just let the audience interpret the scene for themselves?
Because it treats the audience with absolute condescension. It operates on the assumption that you cannot handle ambiguity or read subtext or form your own conclusions.
Oh, I hate that.
He contrasts this artificial, heavily narrated reality with the raw, undeniable meritocracy of a football pitch.
Okay, a soccer field.
Right. On a soccer field, there is no narrator to spin the story. No amount of eloquence or institutional rank or social privilege can save you. You either make the pass or you don't. The truth is an event, a goal. It is not a manipulated narrative.
But in our daily lives, we let the algorithms on our phones act as our daily voiceovers.
We really do.
They tell us what we should value, who we should be angry at, and who we need to outcast to remain in good standing. We are completely terrified to just sit with unnarrated reality.
Yeah, silence is scary for a lot of people.
So if we refuse this 2xp life, if we drop the societal voiceover, and we bravely endure the lonely desert of being a misfit, what is actually at the end of that road?
Well, the ultimate reward for surviving the desert is genuine, authentic connection.
Okay.
And to illustrate just how rare and mathematically miraculous that kind of connection is, the text zooms all the way out to a cosmic scale.
A cosmic scale.
Yeah, he introduces a conceptual tool called the Manhattan unit.
a Manhattan unit.
Yeah.
Which represents 2 million people, right?
Exactly. It's a cognitive tool to help our brains grasp incomprehensible scale. So think about the Euro Millions lottery. The odds of winning the jackpot are roughly 1 in 140 million.
Okay.
If we convert that to Manhattan units, that means successfully picking one specific predetermined person out of 74 fully populated Manhattan islands.
Wow. Okay, my brain can kind of visualize 74 Manhattans.
And then he takes the scale even further.
Yeah.
He talks about the Earth surviving 5 global mass extinction events over 4.5 billion years.
Right.
The sheer statistical impossibility that a species emerged from that chaos, capable of building radio telescopes and asking philosophical questions about its own existence.
It's mind-blowing.
And from there, he introduces the Drake equation.
Oh, I want to make sure I'm grasping this because the Drake equation is famous for trying to calculate the odds of finding alien life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Finding another technological civilization out there in the universe.
Yeah, that is the goal of the equation, looking across 2 trillion galaxies. But the great heartbreaking challenge of the Drake equation isn't just a matter of distance.
What is it then?
It is the tragedy of timing. 2 civilizations don't just have to exist. They have to exist and broadcast at the exact same sliver of cosmic time.
Oh, I see.
If a brilliant, beautiful civilization lived and died 10 million years ago, they are effectively invisible to us today. Timing is the ultimate frontier.
So it's like trying to call your soulmate, but you're dialing a rotary phone in the year 1920, and they are picking up a smartphone in the year 2050.
Yes, exactly.
The connection is completely impossible, no matter how perfect you are for each other.
And that tragic gap of timing brings him to the root of the Latin word coincider, which literally translates to fall together, to coincide.
To coincide.
He argues that the ultimate statistical miracle isn't out there in the cosmos. The greatest miracle is an ordinary Tuesday afternoon where 2 complex, traumatized, authentic human beings manage to coincide in space, in time, and most importantly, in emotional readiness.
So what does this all mean for us? Like, how does dropping a social script mechanically lead to a higher probability of this kind of connection?
Think of it like a radio frequency.
Okay.
If you are broadcasting a fake, generic pop station signal just to fit in with the unthinking mandate, you are only going to attract people who are looking for generic pop.
Right. You attract what you project.
But if you broadcast your highly specific, weird, authentic static, your honest ache, you will absolutely alienate 99% of the population.
Which brings us back to the 17-year desert.
Yes, that is the 17-year desert. But that authentic static acts as a hyper-specific beacon for the 1% who share that exact frequency. By refusing to perform, the Lucid Misfit increases their surface area for real connection.
Which is exactly what happened to the author in the end, right?
It is. After enduring his 17-year desert, he finally found true, profound understanding with his wife, Bonnie.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And they didn't connect in spite of their pasts. They coincided because they were scarred by identical wounds. Those specific wounds made them peculiarly equipped to offer each other a level of understanding that the generic world never could.
This has been such an incredible journey. I mean, we started with the concept of voluntary invisibility, the immense courage it takes to stop performing for an audience you don't even like.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage.
We examined the agonizing reality of the 17-year desert, the profound loneliness of not fitting society's grammar of worth. We unpacked the mechanism of the wound, seeing how a physical limitation like a stutter forces the brain to build entirely new pathways, forging our greatest, most precise gifts.
Absolutely.
And we ended on the staggering cosmic math of 2 authentic souls finally coinciding in time and space.
It fundamentally changes how you view the concept of the black sheep. It isn't a curse or a failure to adapt. It is a structural advantage required for living a real, unnarrated life.
So true. I want to leave you with one final lingering thought to mull over as you go about your day. Think about the cosmic math of the Drake equation we just discussed. If every single time you put on a mask to conform to society's unthinking mandate, you are essentially broadcasting a fake, counterfeit signal into the world. Are you inadvertently hiding from the exact person or the exact destiny that is mathematically trying to coincide with the real you in this massive universe? Keep questioning the script, embrace your inner Lucid Misfit, and we will see you on the next deep dive.